Steve, you're already a very philanthropic individual. You could have given $100 million of your money to any number of worthy causes. What gave you the idea to do this?
I think this is a really important issue, and we have a lot of involvement with China. I'm on the board of Tsinghua University's School of Economics and Management, and they asked me to think about what they could do to do something in the international area to attract the best and the brightest students from the rest of the world to China. And I thought about this for a while and started thinking about why would you want to do something like this. And my concern was really about the tensions that will grow up over time between China and the rest of the world, particularly the Western world. As China grows at 2 to 3 times the West, creates 10 million jobs a year, where the West on balance is creating next to no new jobs, even though it's just at the bottom of the cycle. And we need a group of leaders for the future from the rest of the world to interface with China, to tell the rest of the world, when they go back to their own countries after a year at Schwarzman College, how do the Chinese think? What's going on? How do you interpret events? So we're not interested in just leaders who are political future leaders, but business leaders, media leaders, academic leaders. If you look at the Rhodes Scholarship Program as an example of being to attract people who already have been very successful as younger people, where the probability is they're going to be great stars in the future. Not every one of them, but a high percentage of them. And if you take Bill Clinton, who was over at the office the other day, as an example of the type of impact you can make coming out of the program, then if we can do that in relationship with China and defuse tensions, create a feedback loop from these 200 people a year, which will be 45% from the U.S., 20% from China, and 35% from the top 20 economies in the rest of the world. If we can get that group interfacing on a long-term basis, those will be 10,000 stars. And their impact in an internet age, where with people my age, if you went to college, you kept 2 or 3 friends and everybody else went their own way. In the internet world, you can stay in touch with people really easily. It'll make
U.S.-China relations seamless. You mentioned interpretations of some of the current events. What we've seen, it is in China. Have you had any conversations with those at the university, with Chinese leaders, about censorship and how some of these ideas are going to be presented? Because we've seen problems with China on that issue.
Well, our program, we haven't heard a whiff of that. And, you know, it's sort of a free zone, if you will. I'm sure from just being in China for a year, you'll run into that type of censorship, not in our program, but in the society as a whole. And that's part of understanding what's going on there. You don't have to agree with everything, but you have to at least understand it.